Good morning, everyone. It's Lee Henson, President and Founder of AgileDad, and it's time for today's episode of the Daily Stand-Up. So without any further ado, let's get started. Today, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about empathy and empathy mapping and customer personas. I know it sounds like a strange topic, but I think it's about time, high time we talked about this. What I'm finding is that many organizations are starting to shy away from really solid personas. Let me explain what I mean by that. There seems to be a cancel culture, a snowflake issue with people hyper profiling or putting people into boxes. You can't put someone in a box and say that they're different or that they behave a certain way or that they're this type of person, because if you do that, then you're being hypercritical of who that person is. You need to just stop judging them and treat them with the same dignity and respect you treat anyone else. And while in a society where humans strive to please each other, this might seem like the right answer. The truth is that each of us have in the back of our cognitive bias some type of predisposed mindset that only affords us the ability to think through, if you will, and say, oh, well, this is where I am or how I feel. But when it comes to empathy, a lot of people I'm finding are becoming more narcissistic, or they're becoming more critical, hypercritical of almost to the point bordering psychopath, where they have empathy for their own feelings, but they don't necessarily have empathy for others, or they have hyper empathy for others, and that causes them to feel better about who they are. And what's amazing or interesting is that now when we start to create personas, we are starting to see the impact of these strange feelings or these strange things that are happening, because now we're at a point where we go to create a persona and people are saying, oh, well, you can't put that detail, you can't do this. And I think a big piece of creating personas effectively is understanding with empathy where that persona comes from, what they feel, what they think, what they do, how they act, what are their triggers for action, how do they behave on a regular basis, who do they hang out with, what brand affiliations do they have. I mean, when I create a persona, I'm quick to create an empathy map so that people understand exactly who the persona is. And I want it to be as if this person is real, that they're alive, that they're in the room with us, that you could talk to them, that you could feel them, and that you'd hear the description and you could tell what they look like and what they smell like. I mean, I want it to be as crisp and clean as possible. But unfortunately, there are many in the world that feel like it can't be that way. So my question for you is this: is it okay to quote unquote take a persona too far? And my answer is, and this is a dangerous slope, I've never really seen a persona taken so far that I felt offended or upset by it. Most of the time, what's in a persona is just factual information based on the type of person that we're trying to either avoid or trying to magnify with regard to our product or service. And I don't think there's anything negative about it. And I don't think the people who create the personas have any ill will towards any race, religion, creed, sex, sexual orientation, who you love. I really don't think it has anything to do with those things. I think that we have a lost art of trying to make everyone happy. So now we're in a process of building products and services that appeal to everyone because we don't want to be singled out for being judgmental, which is a slippery slope. Like I said before, it's a crazy place to be. So what's the solution, you ask? Well, there is a solution. The solution is to not be afraid to express who your persona is, what they feel, what they think, and what they do, because in the long run, that's going to get you the better product or service. That's going to get you the product or service that more people are going to attach themselves to. And I realize that it might not resonate well or sit well with certain people, but we need to come to the conclusion that we need to do what's best for our product or service, and that we're going to do all we can to help others better understand who this persona is. And it doesn't even need to be disclosed publicly. This could be something that's held internally. But I can tell you that most of the world's leading industry companies, most of the Fortune 100 companies, have multiple personas that they use for their products, for their services, used by their marketing team, used by the user interface and user experience folks. There's lots of ability out there to leverage the positive benefits of the persona without having the negative recourse of being judgmental. So, my hope or my message for today is that I don't want you to fear personas or to fear empathy mapping or to fear trying to figure out beyond, journey mapping and story mapping who your target audience is and whether or not you're doing all you can to appeal to that target audience. I assure you that if you spend a little more time focusing on these things, that it pays huge dividends in the end. Well, that's going to do it for today. I hope you have an amazing day. As always, we encourage you to tune in to the Daily Stand Up Daily so that you can learn about the latest things that are happening in the world of Agile. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.